Topic introduces the distinction between expected loss and unexpected loss within the framework of credit risk management. Expected loss represents the average level of credit losses anticipated over a specified period based on historical experience and statistical probability. Financial institutions treat expected losses as a normal cost of conducting lending activities and typically cover them through loan pricing, reserves, and provisions. Expected loss is commonly estimated using three core components: probability of default, PD, loss given default, LGD, and exposure at default, EAD. By combining these elements, institutions estimate average anticipated losses across portfolios and incorporate them into risk-adjusted pricing, profitability analysis, and capital planning processes. The topic further explains that unexpected loss refers to losses exceeding anticipated levels because of unforeseen economic or financial events. Unlike expected losses, unexpected losses arise from adverse outcomes such as recessions, financial crises, or sudden borrower deterioration. These losses are difficult to predict precisely and therefore require institutions to maintain economic capital as protection against extreme scenarios. Unexpected losses are closely associated with portfolio volatility and tail risk because correlations between borrowers often increase during periods of stress. Effective risk management seeks not only to estimate average losses but also to ensure sufficient capital reserves exist to absorb severe but plausible credit events without threatening institutional stability. Topic also examines methods for measuring credit losses and modeling credit risk in modern financial institutions. Credit risk models estimate the likelihood and severity of borrower defaults using quantitative techniques and historical data. Structural models, such as the Merton framework, view default as occurring when a firm's asset value falls below its debt obligations. Reduced form models instead estimate default probabilities statistically using observable market information and historical default behavior. Credit scoring systems and internal rating methodologies also help institutions classify borrowers according to credit quality. These approaches allow lenders to estimate default probabilities, assess portfolio concentrations, and allocate capital more efficiently across lending activities and investment portfolios. The topic emphasizes that accurate measurement of credit losses requires understanding exposure dynamics and recovery behavior. Exposure at default may vary over time, particularly for revolving credit facilities, derivatives, and contingent obligations. Loss given default estimates depend on collateral quality, legal frameworks, recovery processes, and macroeconomic conditions. During economic downturns, recovery rates often decline while default rates rise simultaneously, increasing total portfolio losses. Credit portfolio models therefore analyze correlations among borrowers, industries, and geographic regions to estimate aggregate risk exposures. By modeling how defaults may cluster during stress periods, institutions gain a more realistic understanding of potential losses and can improve diversification and portfolio management strategies. The topic also discusses the growing role of market-based indicators in credit risk modeling. Bond spreads, equity prices, credit default swap premiums, and implied volatilities provide forward-looking information about changing borrower conditions and market perceptions of default risk. Market-based measures may respond more rapidly to deteriorating credit quality than accounting data or traditional rating systems. Financial institutions increasingly combine statistical models with market indicators to enhance predictive accuracy and improve early warning capabilities. Stress testing and scenario analysis are also integrated into credit risk models to evaluate how macroeconomic shocks, interest rate changes, or sector-specific disruptions could affect portfolio performance under adverse conditions. Topic also focuses on the challenges involved in assessing and managing credit risk effectively. One major challenge is data limitation because default events, particularly among highly rated borrowers, occur infrequently. Limited historical data may reduce model reliability and complicate estimation of extreme losses. Model risk is another concern because assumptions regarding correlations, recovery rates, and economic conditions may prove inaccurate during periods of market stress. Financial innovation and evolving market structures can also reduce the predictive usefulness of historical relationships. Consequently, institutions must continuously validate and update models to ensure they remain appropriate for changing economic and financial environments. The topic further explains that credit risk assessment is complicated by qualitative factors that are difficult to quantify precisely. Management quality, corporate governance, competitive pressures, political developments, and legal uncertainties may significantly influence borrower performance but are challenging to incorporate into statistical models. Macroeconomic conditions can also shift rapidly, causing abrupt changes in default probabilities and recovery expectations. During systemic crises, correlations among borrowers often increase sharply, weakening diversification benefits and generating widespread credit deterioration simultaneously. These complexities demonstrate that credit risk management requires both quantitative modeling and informed professional judgment rather than reliance on mechanical formulas alone. The topic concludes by emphasizing that effective credit risk management depends on integrating expected loss estimation, portfolio modeling, stress testing, and ongoing monitoring into a comprehensive framework. Financial institutions must evaluate both routine credit losses and severe tail risk scenarios to maintain adequate capital and preserve financial stability. While quantitative models provide valuable analytical tools, they cannot eliminate uncertainty or fully predict future crises. Institutions therefore supplement models with governance processes, expert analysis, scenario planning, and regulatory oversight. By combining statistical techniques with prudent judgment and continuous risk evaluation, lenders and investors can better manage evolving credit exposures and strengthen resilience against unexpected financial disruptions.